Yeah, 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 yeah,
We're
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah,
Stop,
yeah,
Doc.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Stop.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Fucking-
You know. Hello. How are you?
I'm alive. Welcome, one and all, to season 2, episode 1. This time, I think you might even see this one on YouTube once that's set up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the
that is the goal, correct?
yeah, that is the eventual let's get our shit together and do it.
Why do I look like an anime character? Discord put some
I don't
kind
know.
of...
Discord is
don't like
weird. It's like at
them.
720.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean,
First few episodes are allowed to be shit. It's fine.
yeah, 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 yeah,
We're not. Stop, Doc.
yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So,
his clips have been
welcome
showing
everyone.
up. His clips have been showing up in my YouTube shorts.
Algorithm
Yeah.
because of the one that I sent you.
Probably.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
I mean, do
Appreciate
you not
it.
enjoy him?
Do you want a real answer or do you want one?
I mean, one that's going on YouTube. How about
Okay,
that?
like he'll ever see it anyway. I don't. And I wouldn't care if he did.
Right.
Dr. Disrespect?
Mm-hmm.
No. Guy in all his humanity? Yes. His character,
interesting.
I absolutely see why people like him. I
Yeah.
remember those days in Call of Duty where he started from, that character. But I feel like it should have stayed there. I like what he's done with him. Like, I like the evolution. There is clearly an evolution there. And I won't knock the guy. It's just not my personal brand.
Yeah.
And I feel like Dr. Disrespect would respect that. And I think even Guy would agree. But I also think Guy has way too much fun being Dr. Disrespect.
Yes.
That,
Agreed.
yeah. It's not my cuppa, but I won't knock him. He's doing some work, and that's good.
Yeah. I don't know. It is an interesting just, fake it until you make it, and then shit, if this is what got me here, why change the recipe?
So he altered the recipe a little bit. Wasn't it like a Gentleman's Club, and now it's the Champions Club or something? It was something before Champions Club.
Yeah, but it's been Champions for a while.
Right, and there was a good reason why it swapped. Not trying to throw dust in his eyes or sand in his eyes, whatever the fucking phrase is.
Fucking sand.
Pocket glitter. But no,
style.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, when somebody's able to get screen time with one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, in my eyes, you've made it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he and the Undertaker. I was like, okay, he's still not my cuppa, but there is an elevated layer of respect now.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
well,
so thanks to your one clip, my entire shorts is just inundated with his.
Yeah. Well, I fucked up my algorithm on Instagram, and there's two. I don't know if it's like TikToks that get uploaded into Instagram, whatever the fuck, but it's basically two new templates, and it's what's the movie with Tom Hanks where like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, Discord didn't want you to let that come through. Didn't want you to sing because I heard cha T and that was it.
Charlie, am I ever gonna see you again? And it's like a little boy asking Tom Hanks' character, and he's like, well, I'll see you soon. This isn't goodbye. This is just see you later. But it's put onto videos of people taking their animals to go get put down. And yeah. And the other one is, it's something like it's too early in the podcast to start crying. It's like recently I thought something and it's really hard, but I'm gonna have to remember you longer than I knew you. It's for the puppies. And literally my entire fucking feed is that now. And it's like, what the fuck did I like or share? Now it's just all of that. I'm like, I need to click on other things now. Yeah.
So we'll push beyond that.
Yeah, okay, moving on.
Yeah. So
Moving
anyway,
on, guys. Yeah, okay.
Hello YouTube.
Let's wrap up season 1. What did we? Hello, pup. And just lay down. Hello, pup. Look at it. Look at her. Look at her.
So season 1 was, I would argue, rife with Twitch drama.
Yeah.
I'd say that probably dominated the majority of season 1.
There was so much.
There was a lot, and it's
so
like you can expect a lot with a large platform, sure, but it seemed to be like concentrated.
Then also it has the I rode the wave of early 2000s where everybody wanted to be like a little pizzle stick. Everybody wanted to be a rapper. Well, during the pandy, everybody wanted to be a Twitch streamer, and that was me too.
Pizzle stick.
I don't know what the hell would be my little.
Okay, continue.
What would be my rap name? I don't know. But yeah, so we've been doing this 16 months. We got up to episode 34, or this would have been episode 34.
Yeah.
So yeah, but because of the pandemic, we definitely had a lot of interesting subject matters come up within the Twitch sphere. We had the pool gate or pool kiddie pool debacle. We've had plenty of what is it? Plenty of
we had the bathing suit stuff. We had a slew of controversies ranging from Tim the Tap Man and Dr. Disrespect and your boy, what's his name?
Which one?
Nick.
Yeah.
Why am I just dropped his entire name.
Tim the Tap Man?
No, that's Tim the Tap Man.
Who are we talking about?
Was it Nick? His name's Nick, right?
Nick Merckx.
There you go. Wow, I couldn't remember Merckx. Anyway, my brain just data dumped. Like I had no control over it.
Yeah, that's so last season. Yeah. Guys.
Well, anyway, I'm not gonna throw pocket glitter in his face either.
Pocket glitter now?
It's always been pocket glitter. Okay. Anyway, so I mean, we had, and when I say controversies, I don't mean like
Little Dead.
Somebody, did something they shouldn't have or whatever. It's just anytime something big happened, there was always commentary from one of the big streamers. We had YouTube gaming, the streaming side of YouTube pick up,
blow up
harshly over the past 12 months.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, what else? We had sexual
Nvidia.
content arrive on Twitch out of nowhere and get cast down. Yep. We had just a slew of stuff happen, and then on top of that, peppered throughout the year, are mind-numbing decisions made by Twitch. And I'm not trying to harp on that now at the start of season 2, but like that was almost the entirety of season 1 was just bad decision making by Twitch. Some Twitch content creator doing something stupid or purposely seeing how far they can bend the rules before just blatantly breaking them just to see what would happen. I think we even had a couple of Alinity things occur over the past year and some change. We had like just a slew of things occur centered around Twitch. And yet, here we are.
On the YouTubes.
Yeah. Utilizing Twitch's construct of a platform.
I'll say that we're abiding by TOS. How about that?
Mm-hmm. We are.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Let's transition. We've covered last season.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So let's talk about Gilded for a second because
quick transition. Yes.
Yeah, I've
Right,
got
yeah.
okay. I've got a little bit of a soapbox. Gilded needs to get its head out of its ass.
Okay.
Okay.
Do they realize that they're actually a competition for Discord? Let's
Yes.
start off with that.
I think they do because that is how they are marketing themselves. Is a direct competition for Gilded, which I'm fine with. I'm all for competition. However, if you're going to be or claim to be a direct competition, you need to, at the very least, if you're going to implement similar functions that your competition has, do them as well or better. Now, granted, Gilded's streaming possibilities are technically still in beta.
Okay.
But that's the key word there, still.
Is it beta?
Wrap this shit up, guys. Figure this shit out.
Tarkov is in beta? Like it's just...
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Now, again, podcast alums may notice a degradation of camera.
Yes.
Welcome to Discord. Okay? The clarity of camera you're used to is actually from Gilded. So, Gilded has something.
So, you know what the weird thing is? That I'm looking at shitty camera on main screen and on side screen. It's picking up okay on the on OBS. Like it just... This looks like shit.
Mm-hmm.
So what gets recorded should look okay.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll find out. So, the we'll fix the tech issues, but you did bring up I don't know, like a theme that I did want to bring up. We're looking back to look forward. So season 1, a lot of Twitch controversy and a lot of gaming news, a lot of
we did try to cover some world events as well.
Yeah, PC developments, PlayStation, Xbox, the whole that shit show. But what are we going to be covering moving forward?
Initially, when we conceptualized the idea of the podcast, just two dude bros doing something that no other dude bros have ever done, okay? Conceptualizing a podcast where one white dude and a non-white dude talk to each other, right? I feel like that's the only time this has ever happened. We initially discussed really concentrating on the entertainment industry as a whole. Predominantly within, the video game context. But I think as we went from episode to episode, we kind of just realized, why don't we just talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about?
Yeah.
Whatever becomes important to us during the in-between recordings, whatever pops up that day, during a burner episode, just whatever comes off the top of our head. Why restrict? And even though we didn't say that directly, that is kind of how we started approaching each episode, is what happened between recordings that we may have something to say about. And I think moving forward, sticking to that as the baseline, much like we initially tried to stick to the entertainment industry I think that's what we should do. Is quite literally just what comes to mind. Maybe there's a theme each episode. Maybe it's a 4 or 5 hip pocket classes over a span of an hour and a half, 2 hours, however long these end up lasting.
What the fuck are we teaching?
That what we say matters. We are important people.
Oh, right. Okay. got it.
Hello?
Yep. Tracking.
We're the
Yep.
ones on camera.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's right.
I don't know, man. There's a lot that I think people are looking over or are unable to see because other things are shoved in front of them. The entire my mind is still trying to wrap itself around the Nvidia showcase that was broadcast a couple weeks ago.
So I first saw your take, and then I watched it, and I had very different reactions.
Okay.
Where yours was laudatory, and yeah, okay, yes, that the tech is pretty incredible. The pricing, the fuck you, give me money attitude that went into it. I'm not going to be updating to the 40 series.
Oh, absolutely not. Which is why they front loaded that whole thing.
Yeah.
Most people stopped paying attention. Anybody that paid attention after that actually gave, in my eyes anyway, gave a shit about what Nvidia was trying to discuss. They front loaded this stuff. All the gamers wanted to know, and then that had to be some of the most technical jargon I've seen in a showcase. As far as the 40 series, screw that whole series. I'm not dealing with it. One, I agree with you. The price point is way too high. That's why I barely touched on it. Don't care about it. I'm glad the 30 series is now back down to, I'll put reasonable in air quotes, pricing. But at the end of the day, what I cared about most.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah.
Were the AI like packages, bundles, and all the different Horizon Zero Dawn array of code-named AIs.
Right.
Anybody that didn't see that when they saw the array of named AIs and didn't see the PowerPoint display that was showcased of what was it? Eden? Who was the centralized AI that controlled all the others? I forgot her name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They in the game Gaia. There you go. Yeah. Gaia. Yeah. So in the game, not spoiling anything here, nothing too much, but in the game,
not for one.
In the game, there it was finally revealed that in the previous world, the previous iteration of the world, mankind had made a singular AI that was designed to learn and adapt itself and control an array of other AIs that were each specifically designed to control different attributes of continuing life. Everything from the creation and cultivation of animals and fauna and flora to the growth and cultivation of humans.
The applications, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The real world consumer relationship, company consumer relationship is
zero.
Fucking gone.
Yeah, it's zero.
Because I don't know what the fuck happened to Jensen that he literally he addressed the scalping issues last year for the 30 series, and there was a complete fucking disconnect to, oh yeah, so the scalping is going in parallel with crypto mining. This is literally who is buying all these things, and the consumer, the actual person that is using this for the ray tracing, for all these fucking different things, they rarely get these items, slash they're having to pay outrageous amount of money to get them. And the thought process result is they're going to pay scalper prices. Let's up it. What?
They're willing to pay scalper prices.
Go fuck yourself, Jensen. No. The second thing to this is this has happened in Tesla, in motorcycles now. This has happened in a bunch of different or like even TVs, like Samsung and Sony TVs, where electronic features are built into the system, but then you have to pay to unlock them.
Or there's a subscription based on like Roku.
Right. Yeah, go fuck yourself. No, I'm good. I'm never going to use this. So like, I never plugged my TV into the internet. It always recognizes that there's a Wi-Fi signal nearby, and it's like, no, it's not ours. Sorry. You're just going to go off the HDMI and suck it, bitch. So why do I fucking bring this up? Well, no. So I say all that because they're locking them out now. So like last night I saw a dude that Hulu is no longer supporting the TV. Therefore, the TV is dead in 3 years.
Because Hulu isn't supporting?
So Hulu isn't supporting the TV. They cut the cord years ago. So they literally only have the TV for Hulu. And no, I mean, we just have a black frame that does nothing. Does that anyway? The relation to Nvidia in this case, and my anger, my ire for this, a lot of the features that the 40 series will have are not hardware. They are software that I could easily download into my 30 series, but they're locking it only for the 40 series. My 3080 has everything that I need to do DLSS 3.0. I mean, I don't fucking run ray tracing, but it has everything that it needs. It has the teraflop count. It has everything that I would need. And it's locked. I can only do DLSS 2. Okay. Well, first off, aside from maybe wanting to look at pretty sunbeams, I don't know who actually runs ray tracing at full capacity on their 3080 that streams. Like, even
I was just about to say,
right?
I ended up having to, I'm not going to be streaming Cyberpunk anymore because sometimes it streams well, sometimes it doesn't. So as a result, I was playing it last night and I put everything
super high,
everything on, just max it the hell out. And I still run a 2070. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the 2070 Super, the same one that I had in the Mark 1.
Yeah. And it, with a couple of exceptions, usually during cutscenes, it ran beautifully. So, I would argue that this goes just a single layer deeper, in that they are purposely cutting off the ability to use something like DLSS 3.0, because DLSS 3.0 and higher, or just anything within that realm, actually allows the processing to be done properly, better, so that you can actually utilize ray tracing and have good FPS. So
you're saying that it's getting throttled by the hardware. Like,
yes,
it's barely enough to actually do it. So
I'm saying I think they're doing that on purpose, much like how Apple.
iPhones die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're doing that on purpose because
Planned obsolescence.
DLSS 3.0 was already shown to allow it basically allows better processing of ray tracing and all these super high-end things that the graphics cards can allow, everything combined.
So
without
probably
without the I'll tell you this much, all of that stuff turned on, all the ray tracing capabilities, everything turned on, smooth as butter on a 2070. And it's because the stuff from the 30 series was allowed to be put on the 2070.
Trickle down to the 20s. Yeah.
So it actually uses the software side the way it's supposed to because it's had
the 2070 Super is what, 8 gig? Yeah, I think it is 8 gig.
8 or 16. Because I'm running a signature series.
No, I know which one you have. I think it's an 8 gig. Because even mine's like a 10 or 12. So there is the 40 series is a huge step forward in that, and I don't know if you've seen them. Have you seen, like, in comparison to
the 40 series?
Yeah.
They're massive.
They're bigger than actual towers.
They're massive.
So like on mine, it would probably be touching the front fans or like the front glass.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest case that Lian Li has. So yeah, I don't know how PC case makers are going to start to have to address that, but excuse me, it's the miniaturization effect that happens in computers, electronics in general, of like every year you can get what you had. So like, let's say you had 10, next year you can have 20 in the same size as the 10, right?
Which tells me the 40 series, being the size that it is like a year behind where it should be when released to the public. Yeah.
Correct. So basically all they did was just take the tech from the 30 series and then doubled it, but not miniaturized it.
Didn't reduce it, yeah.
Right. So I'm excited for everything that you were talking about. All the AI, all the crazy possibilities that could come off of it with the qubit count, teraflop count, fucking everything. But maybe by the time the 4070s and 4060s and maybe even the 4050s come out, there is a strong organizational shift towards, oh fuck, nobody's buying these because we don't have that same, or it could be the same as what happened with EVGA, where they're like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
with EVGA?
which is crazy. For anybody unfamiliar, EVGA is separated from Nvidia.
Yeah, so EVGA will no longer be in the GPU market.
Yeah.
So GPUs count for 80% of their revenue. 80%. The other 20%. Hello. The other 20% is peripherals, cases, mice, keyboards, mobos, like fucking everything. But it's still like 20%. Why did they go away from the thing that brought them the most money? 2020 and 2021 should be telling us why. I mean, I have what I think is the best EVGA 30 series, but in a 3080, and I absolutely love it. But EVGA was, I think they were only getting like $50 by the end on one product because of how much they need to give Nvidia and like literally all the sustainment for like their business, but only like 10, 20, $50, somewhere in there of actual revenue off of $900 card.
So then
The fuck?
the real question is EVGA gonna start?
So the question was asked, and I've seen two sides of it. I've seen Gamers Nexus and I've seen Jay's 2 cents. Their description of the interview with EVGA, and both said the same thing. Hey, are you going to switch over to AMD or Intel? And the answer was, as of right now, there are no plans to stay within the GPU market.
That is, I feel like that's a bad decision, because EVGA is synonymous with GPUs
quality?
and quality. But I mean, I'm talking about product purchasing.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is that for them to switch full steam ahead into all the other peripherals, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. And here's the other little 1-2 punches from within this world. Intel is releasing its first in a while, big GPU the same day that the 4090 releases. So who the fuck, Intel, are you okay, my guy? Like, you're going up against the fucking giants? Okay, what are you coming with? What would be the equivalent of a 4050 or a 4060? So they're going to be coming out with a very low tiered GPU.
Well, they got to enter the market.
Right, but at a different price point, different feature point, like fucking everything is way lower than a 4090. But then the question is, wait, there's already player 2 in this. You're player 3, Intel, chill out. AMD's already here, and they already have that price point of the 60 or the 50 models. So then it's Intel v AMD in the GPU sphere. I'm all for it, because I mean that's how we ended up with Ryzen 7 and the i12s being so fucking good, because they both stepped it up, and Intel kind of unfucked itself because the i11s were garbage, and the i10s. Sorry. Yeah, the i9s were pretty fucking good, but the 10s and 11s were.
I feel like 5s and 9s were their like XP
So
and Windows
I'm talking
10.
about the generations.
No, I know.
But but where you're saying the i5 and i9s were generation and models, have like the last ones, the 9500s and the 55 and 59s were fantastic. But yeah, so if Intel is going to now go against AMD, then maybe the really, really, really good model to get in about, I don't know, October 9th. So we're talking about maybe next summer we're going to get the 60s and 50s. So next year it'll be a free-for-all to see who gets the better lower end tier. Which, do you remember the RTX Quattro?
The name sounds familiar.
Series.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar.
For the 20 series, or no, was it the 10 series? I can't remember if it was a Nvidia 10 or 20, but there wasn't a 90. There was 1080. I think it was 1080. It was 1080 and then the Quattro. And it was like two.
Was it a Black Series card?
No, dude, it was like a server card. Like, it was a fucking ginormous thing.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it was pitched for like either graphic artists or like servers. Like, why do I need this for a server? The fuck? But I don't know, maybe for the 40 series it ends up, people, Jensen, Nvidia, end up realizing like, oh, we fucked up. But that that requires some introspection that I don't think quarterly earnings will allow.
No, but okay. There's two things. One you didn't touch on, and one you did that I kind of want to branch into. There's two things, right? As far as the 40 series, the fact that it's essentially much bigger than it needs to be. Okay.
Yep.
There's a direction that I think is silently starting to become mainstream, and I think a lot of these higher end development kits are kind of ignoring it. And that's like you brought up, miniaturization, right? Every tech jump, usually the smaller progression tiers is through minimizing everything, making everything smaller, and then there's a giant tech capability jump, and then you minimize that, and then there's and it just keeps going and going, right? There's a possible player on the field that got its 15 minutes of fame and then was kind of brushed to the side because of its similarities between a different product and its history. And I'm speaking specifically of the Steam Deck. Okay? Its similarities with Switch are blaringly obvious. Okay? It's clear even with the button layout that they made some minor adjustments and pretty much took their Steam controller and shoved a monitor in between.
Did you see it was on, I saw it on Reddit, but it was a picture of a Steam Deck, and in the role of video games, it had a Switch emulator on it. Dude,
yeah,
what are you doing?
it's a
and it was actual PAO or actual public affairs picture taken for them, and it guys, are you dumb, or is it like a which one? Because it can only be one of the two.
The reason why I bring the Steam Deck up is the more that I've looked into this. First off, I'm pretty sure it uses Steam's big picture mode. But at the end of the day, that is a program that has been retuned to be an operating system. However, I know the back end isn't Steam OS. Much like how Windows was just a cover for DOS before Windows became its own operating system and removed DOS, there's still a DOS prompt. You can still beep boop around as if you're in DOS and control Windows. Okay?
Hacker man.
Yeah. I think what's happening is Valve is slowly... Microsoft already has an operating system that can span any device. Same thing with Apple, right? Apple is Linux based, right? Underneath its skin, right? I can't remember. I think it's Linux based.
Is it?
I think it is. So what I think's happening is I think Valve is starting to create its own operating system. You know how in a lot of video games, like in Cyberpunk or in Deus Ex or whatever, there's always, it's usually a futuristic immersive sim of some kind, but whenever there's some form of communication or you're on a computer in the game or something like that, you usually see some line of text at the bottom, and it just looks like gibberish, right? Somebody trying to mimic seeing a line of code to identify the operating system version or the firmware version of whatever program or hardware you're using, whatever, right? But there's usually the beginning tag of that line of code is some form of operating system name. In Deus Ex, it was Daedalus. In Cyberpunk, it's Tech something. But I think what's happening is, and I could be way off base here, okay? But when big picture mode came into play with Steam. I remember mocking it because of how similar they tried to make it to like an amalgamation.
It's been going on for a while, so at this point, you know.
She knows. Anyway, I remember mocking it because it was like an amalgamation of PlayStation's operating system front and Microsoft's, right? But now it's actually being applied as its own system inside an entirely new device, which from a programming standpoint tells me that their operating system is good enough to run its own dedicated hardware. So I'm wondering exactly what state their programmers are at where they feel comfortable enough bringing a new operating system in and just not saying anything. Like I haven't dived into the actual like underneath of it yet.
Yeah.
As far as researching, but I'm wondering what their base is.
How is it doing sales-wise? Because I don't think they're gonna do OS change if it's doing shitty.
Well, I don't think it's an OS change. I think it's their take at a mobile operating system.
Okay.
I don't think it's a change. I think it's they took
already there.
I think they took Steam, and I think the first iteration of this was I just said it. Big screen or big, what was it called again? Anyway, the different iteration of Steam that's on the PCs, the big picture mode, that's what it's called.
Yep.
I think that was their silent attempt at how do we showcase this UI? How do we design the user interface first, the interaction first, then let's worry about the back end, the hardware side. Which for them, and the way Valve already runs their company, which for anybody that doesn't know, the way Valve runs their company is they fucking don't. they don't. Like every team in Valve, just go do something. If it doesn't work, we scrap it. Try something else. Because they're so ingrained.
Customer service is actually pretty good though.
No, it is. It is. Their storefront side is able to carry them in whatever direction they want to go at literally any point they want to that they want to go a different direction. It's crazy. Let me look up Steam Deck sales.
So I sent you a message on Gilded, and it is the thing that I texted you earlier. So while
1 million units 5 days ago.
Okay,
for a device like the Steam Deck, that's especially at its price point.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Pretty good.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. Where did you send it to me?
Gilded.
Okay. I'm gonna have to bring that up again. That's crazy.
Yeah.
1 million units at its price point. Gamerant reported 5 days ago they sold 1 million units. I don't.
Let me quick interruption with this video here. So I'm gonna load up. You tell me when you're ready to play.
Yeah, give me a second. I gotta add a new source. Where is it?
What?
Because I'm in a completely new scene, so that I can make it changes to this on a whim.
Gotcha.
Okay, I am blown up, sir.
All right, ready, set, go. Hit play.
Big Symphony! Sense of their own! You good? Great victory there. I can't get out. Are you okay? Are you okay? She's held down by the Biffle medic!
gravity.
No, she's fine.
No, she's not.
No, she's
All right,
not.
make sure she's okay. Get her out of the pit.
Landed on her tailbone.
Yeah.
Now she lives in the pit now. I kind of think.
Ha ha. Ha ha ha.
Big Symphony.
Oh
Everything's
my
fine,
God.
guys.
Own.
I felt that in my
So,
loins. Poor soul.
Yeah. That is adult film star Adriana Chechik. That is also a huge Twitch partner. And that was at TwitchCon in San Diego. And the way she jumped, she, like they said, landed on her tailbone and broke her back in 2 places. As somebody with a back injury, welcome to the Thunderdome, motherfucker. That is pain for life. That is multiple surgeries, and so I guess Twitch isn't going to be updating anything anytime soon because they're going to lose a lot of money to Adriana Chechik. So
that is a lawsuit and a half, to
Yeah.
use that phrase lightly.
yeah, because I don't know if you got from what we saw, they were doing like American Gladiator style with the
Mhm.
foam
Yeah.
pugil sticks on the platforms, and then she won and she celebrated by jumping off of it into the foam pit, but the foam pit was maybe like a foot tall of foam, and her body just went straight through the foam and smacked. So big ol' yikes. Yeah, that's
Our
it's
producer.
not just
Yeah.
it's not just Adriana Chechik. It's happened to other people.
Our producer is showing us a second person. Hmm.
Oh my God, Twitch.
They closed it. This is
Be
giving
careful
me
on this thing, guys. I'm currently at the hospital seeing if I broke anything.
this is giving me Tumblr TumblrCon with the ball pit.
Yeah.
Giving me those kind of vibes.
Ouch.
After multiple
Yeah.
injuries, Lenovo Legion just decided to end their live stream of their pit at TwitchCon.
Forced. Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, we are gonna be getting forced ad breaks every 30 minutes now, even for us lowly. What the hell are we? Associates? What is affiliates?
Affiliates? Yeah.
Yes.
That is another thing that we're gonna have to figure out if we want to deal with or not, is editing around those. No, we don't have to, because they
We don't
shouldn't
have to,
be.
'cause, no, they're not.
So they are in VODs. Ads are absolutely in VODs.
Mm.
Yeah. Associates with the mafia calls the people who work for them but aren't part of the mafia. I'm not supposed to be reading Twitch chat, but that was funny.
Yeah.
Reiterating, this is meant for YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. So, by the way, can you describe Baja Blast to me?
No. It tastes like Baja Blast.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I smelled something the other day, and secret time. So my when I go to the bathroom after my morning coffee or my morning bang, my energy drink at work, I've grown self-conscious when I use the urinal, because I'll just be peeing there, and then another individual will stand next to me and start peeing, and all of a sudden my anxiety kicks in as to, why are you so close to me? And because of that anxiety, I all my other senses kick in, including my sense of smell.
You can smell your own urine.
I can smell my own urine,
Mhm.
and most of the time it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I only
This-
piss bang.
Right.
Peach and mango. That's all I'm smelling right
But you know what I thought about?
now.
In my head, I was like, dude, this smells straight up like Baja Blast. So in my head now, I will never be able to have Baja Blast because I will think of
Your
yeah.
pee.
my pee.
Yeah, I don't have that
Similar
problem.
coloring too, yeah.
That's a problem that does need to be addressed by a doctor.
Doctor?
Hello?
Are you a doctor?
Not anymore. No. Played one on TV though, briefly.
Right.
Grey's Anatomy. There's a couple of episodes. It's fine.
Don't worry about it. Recurring character.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So going back to the Steam Deck,
Is the reason why I brought up the Steam Deck. You've got the
Yes.
Switch. You've got the Steam Deck. You've got the ever decreasing size of VR. The idea of a mobile operating system.
okay,
right,
there's
'cause
an angle to everything you're about to say.
There is.
What's got you excited? What do you think?
What's
is the
got me
angle here?
excited is a combination of Steam Deck and Quest 2. Quest 2 has a somewhat kind of its own operating system in that
Sure.
it
sure,
just
sure.
needs a phone or a laptop or
so
something.
VR straight
to
off
connect.
the Steam Deck.
More specifically AR, but with a VR wrapping sense to it. If that makes it any clearer.
Yeah.
So basically, the ability to run AR through the Steam Deck if needed, or if you've got, let's say, the deluxe package or whatever. Then nothing like that's in existence. I'm just saying, a little bit further down the line, a slightly bigger deluxe package, which is just like a set of glasses, which essentially acts like that's the viewing screen that presents the altered reality to you.
Interactive CD-ROM. Yeah. Okay.
Basically, yeah. But
Yeah.
the next generation of that, the next iteration of that, and it's going to require better mobile operating systems. And when I say mobile, I don't mean your phone. I mean not attached to a 20-pound tower. I mean it's encapsulated within the device itself. The Quest 2 is encapsulated within its device. It just needs to, at the moment, anchor to a Bluetooth of some kind. Okay?
Yeah. So one of the reasons for the size of towers, of CPU towers, is the size of our monitors. We need a lot of graphic processing and RAM and all this other shit. Let's just stick to the GPU. The new 40 series, the 4090 is going to draw 450 watts. The fuck, first off. But it's because you need something. The graphic processing that goes into a phone, it is barely, literally, like, counting pixels, it is barely the 1440 on my S21 Ultra. Barely. Most phones are, iPhone 14 I think is at 1200. So it is literally, you're not spending that much. So it is possible. I'm confirming what you're saying, that on a small little tablet-like device that has a controller built into it, yes, it is possible.
I'm specifying AR.
The AR aspect through either a headset or glasses that would be put on for it to be displayed.
You've already seen a rudimentary version of it. It was a worldwide phenomenon,
Yes.
right? Pokemon Go. Yes, it was really, by comparison to better ARs, pretty shitty. But you have that. You had Nintendo's. You have the entirety of Nintendo's AR through the Switch. And we've talked about this before with the Mario Kart. That actually it takes your wherever you're at into account and creates a track out of it. Okay. the reason why I'm bringing this up when it deals with Nvidia's like let's theorize for a second. You've got the what was it, Titan or Thor CPU? Nvidia was showcasing it, where instead of multiple CPUs in a self-driving car dealing with different
Titan.
was it
Thor
Titan?
is
There
the,
you go. Yeah.
Thor is the power source by Asus.
Okay, yeah. So you've got Titan, which is supposed to dictate all these things, which for gaming context is essentially most of what AR takes into account. You've got the ability to quickly scan an environment and create a duplicated VR-based world to then do ultra quick, like borderline quantum level mathematics, so that it can then make changes in the real world version of it based on the information that it's sending to the VR world. Okay, well, AR is essentially putting those two together, and instead of creating a duplicated world to do some mathematics on and have an effect in the real world, it's essentially just taking aspects that don't already exist and superimposing them. So the processing power is just by that nature alone half of what it needs to be, just to display semi-decent AR into a real world, which is why companies like Nintendo can do a lot of the things that they've done just with the little screen and two little controllers on a Switch. Because at the end of the day, most of that processing power is you interacting with the device.
Mm-hmm.
All it needs to do is read the input and display minor changes to the environment that it's created as an overlay, and that's it. But you're the one essentially doing all those mathematics with your inputs instead of it doing it on its own. And then it's taking those and applying them into an algorithm and displaying from there. But think about that for a second. You've got the Steam Deck, which its main purpose is for you to take your Steam library wherever you want to go. So instead of cartridges, instead of 14 different launchers, it's if it can be accessed, you can play it with very little restriction. Because the whole point of the Steam controller is that it's a keyboard and mouse put into a controller. That's why the what do you call it? The little sensory D-pad. It's not a D-pad, but it's got a DPI sense on it, even though it's a thumb pad. You know, because the whole point is that you're able to flick. You're able to treat it like a mouse, right? Because it's got the same fine-tuning capabilities.
Right.
But it's what I'm seeing, and this is what got me so excited about NVIDIA's showcase, right? To try to kind of bring this around, is what we're seeing, and there's probably going to be a groan or two, right, in chat, but what we're seeing is the level 0, level 1 of Star Trek technology. Legitimate Star Trek level technology above what's already been there with the iPad or FaceTiming or even holographics.
Yeah.
What we're seeing,
I mean, literally everything can be traced back to Star Trek.
I mean, Gene Roddenberry went out of his fucking way.
But
you know what I mean? But it's like I'm talking everything from AI capable of learning every gene sequence recipe and attempting to put it together, at least in a VR sense, right? Not in real life yet, but in a VR sense, and trying to, without having the recipe for a single piece of chocolate cake on a porcelain plate, it knows what a porcelain plate is made of, and it knows what all the ingredients to a chocolate cake are made of at a you know, an atom at the atom level, and so it takes all of those and it recreates it in a VR world, right? So we've got the AI that's starting to learn how to sequence from base proteins. Okay, that sound familiar to anybody? Okay, and then we already have 3D printers which know how to take an established recipe and properly, according to the instructions of the recipe, crap it out. Like, anybody not seeing those two go together are like willfully not seeing the bigger picture here. We're starting to create the AI that'll be able to go behind a protein sequencing 3D printer to make a piece of chocolate cake on a plate. Just print it off. Like, come on. And then you combine the entertainment side with things like the Steam Deck and Switch.
A lot of things would need to happen for that to be the end result.
That's why I called it level 0, level 1 at most.
But yes, it could be en route to that. Do you remember when, for you younger viewers, you may not remember this, however, when phones went from this size to like this size to this size, and then all of a sudden this size.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna go through that again.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not just phones. I think the way that we're doing things now, phone-wise, of a regular, a plus, and a fucking ginormous fuck all size is going to be the norm. But like we hit on for miniaturization, we're gonna get to that point, and then it's gonna have to be well, now that we made it this big, and all you need to do is, like, I don't know, fucking add on a little device that goes onto your, you know, kind of like Google Glass, like a projector that goes on, like, at the side of your glasses. And then it's going to be further development to Ready Player One style, where haptic feedback, the whole fucking shebang, right? But I don't know, the advancements are on a steady progressive rate. The appetite, I don't think, is there. So that is what is going to keep it either niche, not mass market, or super expensive and restrictive to the masses.
That is why I brought up earlier that a lot of people are incapable or unable to see the possible applications. I got into a discussion with a friend of ours about how in the world can something like Nvidia's showcase, right, with all the stuff that they showed us with the self-driving cars and this and that. I had made a comment that without the layman wanting something out of it, not much progression is going to happen that we're ever going to see, right? Utility based as far as quicker product return to us. Sure, we'll see that. Yeah. Storage facilities, companies, their back ends are going to get tighter and tighter. Giggity. It's going to become, a lot easier and a lot quicker with a lot less human interactions, meaning a lot less piss bottles, right? Although also a lot less jobs. But what's going to end up happening is that back end on the corporate side is going to get better and better, right? So we're going to start seeing the products that are available quicker and quicker. The problem is, if we aren't aware as a consumer, as a customer of insert product and service, if we aren't aware of what can be right? Nothing's going to come out of this. That tech progression that we talked about, where it progresses and then it miniaturizes, then it progresses and miniaturizes, it's going to stop miniaturizing. The progression's going to happen, but it's not going to be consumer based. The customer's not going to see much of anything. They'll see slightly better services, but no real increase in product advancement.
Hold on. So the reason I bring it up is because of the 1 million units sold is nothing to scoff at. However,
Not for its price point, it's not.
well, I mean, but it's not a PlayStation, right?
A
Or an
PlayStation
Xbox.
can't access your Steam storefront though.
No,
I have like 700
know.
games in there.
You're going for features as opposed to what
Because-
it is.
Because that's
It's a
what a
gaming
customer.
platform.
Yeah,
It's a
that's,
gaming
that's what a
platform.
customer's going
But-
for, is the
but-
features.
Okay, just listen.
Sure.
It's a gaming platform that plays a video game and it's portable. Okay, that by breaking it down to basics, that's what it is. So okay, what else is out there right now? Stadia, rest in pieces. The Switch, and well, that's it. A laptop. So console wise, because I just thought of it, like quite literally the reason that I don't have a Steam Deck is because I'd rather just have a computer. Like I don't have the need for a Steam Deck to portably access my Steam library. If we're putting all of these, if we now start going into the actual features, it would have to be like the Xbox, like the PlayStation, where the newest generation can only go up a maximum of $100 each generation,
Mm-hmm.
maybe $50 for it to remain competitive with all of the fucking additional features being added, because
I don't think it's
I get-
trying to be competitive. I think that's the
Well,
difference here. I don't think it's trying to be competitive because
and
how many
I-
Switches do you know of have freely customizable bases? I saw a video about a week ago.
what do you
of-
mean bases?
So I'll tell you, I saw a video about a week ago of somebody changing the boot up sequence. Like in Windows, you see the Windows logo or the login screen comes up, whatever, right? Somebody changed it to be the Frasier intro. Give me a portable device or a console that you can freely do that without violating any service agreement. That's I don't think Steam Deck is trying to compete. I think what they're trying to do is redefine. So when I like, this is why I brought up the creation of and I keep dropping the damn name of it in my head, Big Picture Mode. Okay. When Big Picture Mode came out, it looked like Fisher-Price Xbox, PlayStation
I
crap.
remember
It was
that
bad.
was the last time that I saw it, and last time that I used it, because it was Duplo Legos.
Yeah, it was
where
bad.
it was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it was bad. But that was the first iteration of their Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And they ended up fine-tuning it. Big Picture Mode now is a lot better. It still looks like Duplo shit, but
Yeah.
it became
Well,
what's
then again,
used
it
for
is-
their VR platform.
I will say, then again, it is for our fucking 24 to 30
Yes.
inch screens, right?
Yes.
So if you fucking miniaturize that to, what, 7-inch, or what is the size on a, maybe a 9-inch on the Steam?
I
The
don't
Steam Deck?
I don't fully remember.
Steam Deck screen size 7-inch. Yeah. So it's a 7-inch OLED. 1280 by 800, where the Switches is 1280 by 720. Okay, so it's only slightly better, but
The screen size, but look at the processing.
no.
Look,
So resolution, processing, yeah, and I'm not arguing that. The I don't think it will remain a niche thing.
You're missing where else big picture mode is used.
Go on.
VR. That's the UI used in their index.
These features would need to be to the point of equal or better than a PC and a Valve or whatever the fuck.
Or enough from one side and enough from another.
Right.
And I'm not arguing that point. You're right. You're right. I'm not saying like the Steam Deck is the product, right? What I'm saying is they came up with big picture mode, tweaked it, integrated it into their VR system, tweaked it, put it into their Steam Deck. They're going to tweak it. Now they had how does it work with VR? How is the user experience with big picture mode in VR? I'd argue pretty fucking good. Big picture mode in VR is phenomenal. I mean,
I've never used it, so I don't know.
Just picture
But
the VR
to me-
setting and picture trying to use regular Windows,
So
and then picture Duplo.
is your argument saying that like literally all the pieces are already there and all you have to do is just put them together? Is that basically your argument? Like,
I think what's happening, that's part of my argument, is that
Yeah.
we're seeing Valve take the long road of piecemealing everything and figuring out, like, this is one of their longest running projects is big picture mode. Next to actual Steam, which used to be just their version of a game installer,
yeah, BattleNet, yeah.
right? We're seeing the evolution of what I think Valve is trying to do, which is create a standalone operating system specifically for the sole purpose of processing power, redefining user interaction for purchasing games, purchasing, any kind of streaming service, stuff like that. Kind of like how, Roku has its own little thing, but it's staying in the television, maybe a tablet. You've got big picture mode on the PC, on the Steam Deck, on the VR. Like, they have application baselines for every major form of ingesting entertainment. Like, that's the part that I'm getting excited about, is I'm not looking for a direct competition for a PC or a direct competition for the Switch or
that's
anything
gonna be
like that.
the clearly stated differentiation that needs to be made, because
I don't think they're going to make it yet until they know everything big picture mode can do.
So up until the Switch, well, no, the Wii U, right? Nintendo went both routes, portable and home console. There was a consistent, well, we'll give you the same story, but it's portable, but it looks shittier, but same story. So like you can play GoldenEye, actually no, not GoldenEye, but and it worked both ways, right? So like Pokemon was always the portable, whereas Stadium and Snap and all these others were the console. So they worked off each other, and it was okay. So it would need to be stated clearly of what the Switch is now, and I mean they do it well with their Steam does, what Valve does with the marketing for Steam or the Steam Deck, where it's you can dock it or you can take it with you, right? Okay, cool, got it. But why would somebody that already has a $4,000 computer take it with them? Well, now here's this that is not easily, or same, kind of like Pokemon Now, where you can pull it out of your backpack and play on the metro, the subway, whatever, or hey, dock it at your TV and it's fucking huge, and look at all these extra features that you can do at home as opposed to, and because of the slow roll that you've been mentioning, I don't see it yet, or they've just been in like holding their cards very close to their vest, where it's like, where are you going with this? Because as of right now, it's these minuscule steps that.
Here's the thing that I'm so glad that you said that, because there's one thing that's not being taken into account, and we actually touched on it, and it's the way Valve does business. What you just described follows suit with the way that we brought up how technology operates. Okay, on the competitive side, each company needs to bring out something that is comparable but does something a little bit better, right? In order to be marketable, in order to be attractive, they need to be able to do something comparable yet better. The way Valve works, they're not a part of that competitive market. They don't need to be. They can take their time. They can take their time and develop the user interface first. Then the next step is figure out how to integrate it without people really realizing it. Then it's time to figure out how can we make the hardware that can run it on its own. Then it's time, you know what I mean? It's very slow processes. I don't think it's close to the chest. I think it's straight up, they are taking as much time as they think they need. And I think they're one of the few companies that can get away with this.
So the very quick way to explain it away, or tell me, like, because I'm thinking about this as like a fucking nerd at Micro Center, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I'm selling you this. It's a computer that plays your Steam library, and it's $600.
Again, you're looking at it from a competitive market standpoint, which is good. It's good because they need to see if it's attractive or not, and I get that. But my point is, it doesn't matter.
Other things, all the features are in everything else.
But
right?
it doesn't matter. That point that you're trying to make is a good one. If they're trying to be competitive, they're not. They are just competitive enough, just attractive enough.
Business 101.
No, dude, you're. I think you're willfully ignoring this part. They don't care about that. They're not looking for that.
What are they looking for?
That's the point holy shit. I don't know how else to say this. We are being used as a consumer base
the test market?
to figure out each and every step, not here's this beta version of the entire product. Here's the next version of the entire product. No. Here's big picture version 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then silence. Here's VR. Oh, by the way, you may recognize the UI. Here's a better version of the VR.
Listening to the customer.
No. Well, yeah. Actually, yeah. For each step, not for a final product.
Right.
The Steam Deck is their version of seeing how the customer interacts with what they think a portable device should be. I don't think it has anything to do with comparing or trying to be better one way or the other. I think what they're doing is, because this isn't what we see now, the Steam Deck that we see is not, this isn't like the second or third generation. They've been working on this for a while. There's been other, for instance, the Steam controller. That was half the Steam Deck, and that was like the third iteration of that, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
As far as screen fidelity and processing power, how many different versions of this did we see before the Index came out? That Valve took part in. That Valve themselves took part in. And now, like this right here, yes, this is heavy, this gets hot. that's something that we can't get away from right now. Even the Quest 2 gets heavy and hot because it's a thing hanging off the front of your face. Your body's not designed to hold that naturally, right? But what Valve has been doing, very few companies can do. Nintendo can't do it. They tried piecemealing that kind of, figuring out how they can technologically advance while still staying prominent. They tried doing that with the Wii and the Wii U. And holy bad decisions, Batman. That tablet with the Wii U, one of the worst things I've seen Nintendo develop. And Nintendo is known for let's develop new stuff.
The question for that is, did we need to have the Wii U to get to the Switch?
No, I don't think so, because here's a throwback, we had the Game Boy Advance.
Right.
Which was before the Wii U, but that was their attempt at combining
detachable Joy-Con, huge screen.
No, I think we needed the Wii to get to the Switch. I don't know that we needed the Wii U. Just like we didn't necessarily need the GameCube.
Hey.
We didn't. I mean, it doesn't mean it wasn't a good device.
Bite your fucking tongue.
It doesn't mean it wasn't a good device.
I will defend the Cube because it was the point that it was prime high school friends bringing their console, their Cube to school, and then we would play Smash or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it was deficient in many ways, including the mini disc.
So I think the mini disc was the progenitor for them realizing that scan disc, was the way to go. And then on top of that, you want to talk about miniaturization? Wasn't it the GameCube that came out with a what is it called? A cartridge that you saved games on. PlayStation had them too.
Memory pack?
Yeah, well, like a memory card that had a little mini game on it.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
So like Nintendo has tried the piecemeal thing, and they had to wait generations to implement a better iteration of that.
Well, and
right?
arguably, I mean, they have not at all been the cutting edge.
No.
Like graphics wise, it's always been PC
Mm-hmm.
and all the other consoles. I mean, shit, the Dreamcast had way better graphics.
I was a
than
big fan of the Dreamcast.
Right?
I was a big fan of the Dreamcast.
But Sega, get your shit together. First off,
Sega CD didn't turn out the way we wanted to. Let's make an entire console dedicated to it. Good, smart. Yeah. Let's do it.
So, but for Nintendo, they've never been cutting edge. They've never tried to go for, and I mean, maybe this is something, because Nintendo to me was always the
they went for interaction, not necessarily for technological leaps. They went for like with the Switch. They're the ones dominating AR.
Nintendo goes for memories, whereas the other consoles go for experience.
Yes.
Because to me, Nintendo is playing outside, like the fucking legal loophole of your parents telling you to go play outside. You take your Game Boy and you go play outside.
And your link cables and you go play Red vs. Blue.
And you can go outside.
Yeah.
So whereas, Xbox or fucking PlayStation, it's, oh my God, these graphics are amazing. Look how real they look.
Everything's so streamlined, this and that.
Yeah.
This is what I'm seeing. Valve has been silently sitting in the background. Because like I said, the way that they run their company, they send a product out, doesn't work, you never hear about it again. It's gone. Yeah. That's it. It's gone. Well, that didn't work. Scrap it. But let's take bits and pieces and see what we can do with this. Right? Or they keep it in, they keep it available because they need what no QA team can give. They need what no QA team can give, and that's hundreds of thousands of people testing your product at once, no matter how you feel.
Yeah.
And that includes me about early access games, buying into beta for, purchasing early purchase of a game or anything like that. Regardless of how you feel about that and the moral implications there is one thing that offers that no company has any ability to do on their own. And that is so many people testing your stuff all at once. It's just, you cannot compete with that. Again, we're moving the moral stuff away.
Or, I mean, B-SODs or B-SOD equivalents on Steam Deck?
I think you can, just like PlayStation and Xbox can stop up and you got to reset. But
because I'm just thinking, like,
I don't think Steam Deck is it. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying that the Steam Deck is what we should be looking out for. I think the Steam Deck is the next step. Like, they're gonna do what they can to level it out. They're gonna do what they can to make it a good product, sure. But that isn't it. That is their first entry point. Their first official, prepared for entry point.
What's 1.5 or 2.0? Like we're going from PSP to Vita. What's the Vita?
What we're going to see now, I think, is we're going to start seeing them branching out into peripherals, because the Steam Deck is good on its own. It's a good baseline. It's a good
Peripheral
baseline.
as in input
As in input, output. I'm talking, they're going to start experimenting. We're not going to see most of it. Because, again, remember, they run their company different. I guarantee you there's already been a couple of projects started and scrapped for some kind of visual extension. Guaranteed. For that attempt at diving into AR. Guaranteed. They've got the index. They've got the Steam Deck. They just need to put those two together.
I tuned in to watch Tim play Overwatch 2.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately threw a hissy fit. I did.
Why is that?
It's Overwatch.
That's right. I totally forgot about both of those. Sorry, continue.
So it's Overwatch, but now it's basically like Warzone, where it's free and you pay for the skins and all the cosmetics. I don't understand why they got rid of Overwatch 1. Because money. Because fuck you.
Well,
pay me,
yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Duh. But it's to the point of like, wait, there's really nothing new. There's a couple of game modes that are different, but like, and I'm applying this as a COD player, okay? So, like, I'm fully aware of my hypocrisy here. But it's Overwatch. It doesn't have a campaign mode. It's just, hey, this is the game. It hasn't changed. Can you tell? Yes, we can. And what made it funnier was watching Tim play. For those of you that don't know, Tim was OWL, Overwatch League, like competitive player, right? And
top 500 Genji.
Yeah, he was getting his ass kicked. He did drop that, by the way, a couple of times.
Did
he's
he?
like, yeah, yep, 87% win rate. What up? So seeing him play after not playing for a long time, he just kept getting shit on Widow and a bunch of other characters, and he's like, these are the losers that stayed playing when I left 3 years ago. And it's like, well, yeah, some people enjoyed the game,
Don't you play Call of Duty every fucking day?
For 3 years, dude. Hello?
Calm down. Bring it down a level. Real quick, as far as Steam is concerned,
yes.
Do you remember Steam Machines and the Steam Link?
Yes.
So
when was that?
That's it. 2015 and 2013. So they only just recently started trying to push out physical products.
So machine, link, index, Steam Deck.
And the controller.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I think they're playing the long game, the extra long game, and they're using us all as test subjects.
So let's call it and conclude our first episode. Thanks for everybody that joined. We're going to be uploading this to the YouTubes
soon, and we will
soonish.
have the information, the link, and all that kind of stuff ready for you guys, either in the About Me sections of each of our channels or as a command, whatever. We'll figure that part out. But as far as YouTube is concerned, thanks for watching. If you made it all the way through, really do appreciate it. Check out the description for all the stuff. And we've been on social media platforms long enough to know that at some point there's going to be either a graphic or some way to remind you guys to click the follow button, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. If you didn't like it, that helps us either way. Click the bell notification to be let known, when the next episode comes out. And yeah, that's going to be it from us.